NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Giants and the reigning Super Bowl champs. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Caesars Superdome here in New Orleans. Today we've got a matchup here in Week 7 as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on your defense, too.
Well, Bad Lewis, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here we are, another episode of the Kelvin Rich Superstar Road right here on Madden 24. You missed any of the other episodes, they're available on the channel in the playlist. Coming off the bye week, folks, the Saints are here at home against the New York Giants.
The basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It's too early in the season.
And now Kelvin's going to run this one. Look at him go, folks. Kelvin with the 16-yard rush to start off the game.
Nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Looking to throw. Rich forced out to his left.
Kelvin again runs it. 2 rushes, 30 yards for Kelvin.
Opted to run for it. The decision of picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Here we go now. Kelvin under center. He hands it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Injury as Brian Aiken is hurt. Run him to the back.
Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. Now they'll switch it up here.
Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield catches the football.
It's Gibbs. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 17-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Rich.
Incomplete. Hit as he threw.
That one winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job.
Hands it off now to Gibbs. And Gibbs doesn't get much.
Out here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured.
Another injury for the Saints.
Play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Looking to throw. Rich dancing to his left.
Kelvin he ran it 3 rushes, 43 yards.
Has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
Man in motion now. Kelvin hands it off to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs, not quite there.
4-2 on a gain of 2.
See some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
They hand it off again to Gibbs, and Gibbs is slammed immediately. Did not get anywhere.
Not giving him any room to operate. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Rich.
Kelvin goes down and he is sacked.
Back at the 7.
So Kelvin.
Rises to the challenge. They get it.
So the Saints have to settle for a field goal here. The kick is up. It is good. And here come the Saints back in.
Set up shop for their 2nd drive. And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about.
Kelvin does it again, and another rush for Kelvin Rich.
And we've seen teams come back on the open game and come down flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more.
To Olave, Chris Olave. A ton of what a pass by Chris Olave, or a catch by Chris Olave.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Rich. This pass down the field for Gibbs. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense.
So, Jahmyr Gibbs could not catch that one. That was in too much traffic there. But Kelvin is ready now under center. Or, excuse me, for the shotgun.
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that ball to creep into a locker room.
What a catch! What a catch! What a catch, and Kelvin on the run. Did an amazing job there. You see it there, Kelvin on the run, and you see a perfect catch there.
Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this? That's when things start to get real for a ball club.
Back to throw again.
Incomplete.
Comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back.
Touchdown, Chris Olave.
What great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to extend their lead.
And the Saints go marching in, folks. The Saints march right down the field and put it in the end zone for 6.
He notched his 15th touchdown.
The touchdown.
On that last drive. They'll look to keep it going here.
Given up by the defense there.
Panther 60, Panther 60.
Off the bootleg. Rich.
Incomplete. Olave, the intended receiver.
Free safety rolling into position. Almost had it, but it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Rich. Here's one deep for Pickens.
Incomplete.
That's it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what?
It's free going down the left side. It's a fumble.
So George Kittle gets the 1st down. And the Saints are back in it with that 1st down.
So the big play gets him across midfield.
So the drive continues here for the Saints.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Again, 32.
Who else but Chris Olave there?
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll look to throw again.
Kittle, touchdown.
George Kittle, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are able to add on to that lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play.
Their quarterback leading this offense back out. He's thrown touchdown passes on his last 2 drives as he begins here. 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Rich. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And they'll get it
So another Saint going down here.
The 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. On the move to his
Kelvin stops and he is sacked behind the line.
To throw on second down. Rich. Bulldozes past him.
George Kittle. Still.
Getting this inside the 30. And we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
So he couldn't catch, or he couldn't hold on. Olave could not hold on there.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Finds his man. That's Olave on the crossing route. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Well, the Saints will add a field goal here.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
2014, it's still a close game here.
Back on the opening drive here of the second half, and now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there, good for the Saints, first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself with some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Able to slither by. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
So 2nd and inches there.
Give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And Gibbs got it.
Take it down shy of 45 to 46. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. In the first half, he was held in check.
Here we go now, 37 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The Saints up 20 to 14.
If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards.
And that's going to end the third quarter. The Saints.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Off play action. Rich.
Kittle. Touch. No, he did not get it. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Kittle.
There on first down, got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Touchdown. Chris Olave. Who else? Take a look at it real quick here. Kelvin's going to throw it. A little wobbly. But you see it right there. He caught it. Right there. And the Saints are going to go for 2 here, I believe.
When a turnover presents itself, you've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Steps away. And he will get into the end zone.
So Kelvin gets in.
And with a successful 2-point try, the QB
So 2
rolling
points.
out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account
So here we
for
go
it.
now as Kelvin is ready.
New Orleans offense back out and ready to go. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your
Oh, It's a safety. Kelvin tried to elude, but he could not get out of the way.
I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down.
So a safety there. It's Kelvin goes down for the sack.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. Following the fumble recovery, Rich. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Now this throw caught left side.
Chris Olave does it again, another catch.
23 yards to pick up there. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
So Gibbs.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations.
And Kelvin sacked. 4th and 10, and the Saints will have to settle for a field goal here.
Time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So here we go now. Is field goal attempt is good, and there
Now
is
the
a
Saints offense. They get ready to go back to work.
there is a
here.
touchdown.
And the points, they have come fast and furious.
Handed off to Gibbs.
Hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. The Giants
That's
gonna
going to be
bring
it,
3rd and 5
as the
time.
Giants will take their final time out here,
40 seconds remaining in
and the
this
Saints are
quarter.
going to move on at 6-0.
Take a knee here. And a sight that's becoming familiar in this season. They remain undefeated and unwinnable.
And they did it the way that they really want
The
to.
Saints will remain
Taking
undefeated
the
here.
game. That means you have the ball, you're in control, you dictate the final part of this ball game, and they did exactly that.
And the clock rolls down to 0.
So the Saints, Kelvin's going to take another knee because the game clock,
And the unbeaten season will
the
continue.
play clock and game clock were 2 seconds difference there.
So
There you have it.
A victory here for New Orleans. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Saints, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get...
All right, folks, there you have it. Another episode done and dusted, and another victory for the Saints. Puts them at a perfect 6-0. How about that? If you're new, scratch the claw marks at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Could be the Wolfpack fams today. Snip and bite into the bell icon. Become part of the notification squad. Do not forget to put a like to the video. It's much appreciated. Remember, always stay hungry, hungry like the wolf.
Now that was some teamwork out there, fellas.
And out.